Good work today. We were in shells, worked a lot of third down situations. Again, with noise this whole week is trying to work with silent count, act like we're being on the road and see how we function and kind of get the coaches away and see the reality of where we are assignment-wise. Instead of coaching them all the time, they letting them play. So it's been a good week for us. We'll dial it down a little bit Thursday and Friday, and then ramp it up Saturday with a very similar preseason game as we had the following Saturday. As far as injuries go, you saw Austin Jackson come back. We gave him about 8 to 9 periods today. We'll give him another 8 to 9 tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get him back full speed by next week. Jake Lichtenstein is actually making a nice comeback. I think he'll be ready next week. You saw us shut down Andrew Voorhees. He'll be back hopefully by next week. We're going to let that knee calm down. And everybody else is kind of status quo right now. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
Is there a target date or anything with Daniel Matarelli?
No, I really don't have a crystal ball. It's kind of how he feels. He's working through. He's medically cleared to do what he's doing right now. We're staying away from contact until he truly feels comfortable with it. But he's getting more and more in each and every day. He's doing a little bit of contact drill work, people leaning on him, trying to get all that strength back in that leg, and he gets more and more confidence every day. But I really don't have a crystal ball until he feels right about it.
Clayton Bradley?
Clayton had a little bit of a back, so we pulled him today. I'm sorry about that, Dan. Yeah, we pulled him for a day.
With Daniel, is it the same injury, or has he had issues flaring up?
It's the same injury. It's the same injury that we committed to shutting it down for an extended period of time. Now it's building back up. It kind of reminds you of where we were with Adoree when he came back with track. Trying to get him back into great football shape and not rush in the process. We want a 100% Daniel, and I'm committed to that for him.
It's been a week since Porter got his surgery. How's his rehab?
Doing well. he's there daylight till dark, rehabbing it. I've always thought Porter is one of the hardest workers you'll ever see, whether it comes to strength and conditioning or the rehab phase when he's been injured. And there's nobody working harder to get back. He's on schedule.
Is there more to the play in the crowd noise than just the sound, but it's more of getting them comfortable on the road?
Yeah, really it's a couple phases. One, it is we do know that the second, third, and fifth game is going to be some hostile atmospheres. We also like to see, you get so, I've been there as an assistant coach for 20 years, and it's so hard not to help, when you get that play signal in and you see a guy just not aligned perfectly to try to get him coached up. Well, we also got to be able to see the reality of who's doing things right and who's not quite there yet. And so this week is about that. We've got pretty much the entire playbook in, and we're allowing to see who's got it, and without the coaches being able to say, hey, widen out, tighten down, hey, you got an out route. I want them to be able to function and see where they're at.
Has anyone asserted themselves in the running back group, or do you see it as maybe more of a collaboration than you had last year with Rojo dominating the carries?
I tell you what, the defensive coaches came into me today and said, Coach, I don't know what you said to the 3 running backs, but they blew it yesterday. They were very impressive yesterday. We had a huge run emphasis in that full padded practice with some live reps of tackling, and I loved the attitude that they brought. It's you got some really aggressive, tough runners with Vi and Said, and then you got this home run hitter that can do it either in the run game or in the pass game with Steve. So it is a great collaboration to have. And when you're talking about, trying to run the ball 40 times a game, and those guys could catch anywhere from 6 to 8 routes a game also, that you got to be able to spread that ball around. Nobody can touch the ball 46 to 48 times. So that 3-man pod right there has got to do a lot for us right now. And they showed it yesterday. They showed their attitude.
Some time has passed, but Coach McKay might differ with you on that 40 carry count.
Yeah. Well, the biggest biggest thing for us is to be able to keep guys. We're in a 15-game season. It's not 10 games or 11-game seasons, 12-game seasons. We're trying to get to 15. And because of that, you have to be able to take care of those runners. It's one of those things. There will be times that you look up and a Ronald Jones does carry it 25, 30 times last year. It'll be the same thing this time. When a guy's hot, you keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. But we're also going to know that with this depth, like I said earlier, that we're going to try to use a lot of folks to stay fresh and to stay explosive.
Does Sid have more of a home run threat this year? It seems like he's had some longer runs in practice.
Yeah, he's in the best shape of his life, to be honest with you, Joey. I mean, he's sitting there, came into camp at 215 pounds, which is not only the heaviest he's been, but also the most explosive and in shape that he's been. So he's been really impressive, and he's breaking through runs. Him and Vi yesterday were breaking tackles. They were getting up to the second level, and actually, in SEDS, I showed it in the team meeting. He's got a safety coming from his left side, and he explodes his legs through contacts, gets his shoulders down. Safety just bounces on him, and he makes an explosive run. And that's something that I see a little bit different in him right now. That he's able to fight off those safeties that are trying to go for his legs. He's making them pay right now, which is nice to see.
You're doing a lot of one-on-ones. How do you see that with the matchups?
We're trying to make it as competitive as we can, and I actually, at the start of the team meeting today, showed the one-on-ones yesterday with the wideouts and DBs. We'll have one-on-one pass rush tomorrow, but we're trying to bring that competitive element that, the best player you may face the entire week may be right here on this field. And so that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday has got to be great work together. And you celebrate that. You celebrate the competition, you celebrate the effort, and the kids are doing a really nice job.
You mentioned Teed said that he's seen himself and a lot of the other tight ends get a lot more targets during this camp. Do you think that partly a product of having younger quarterbacks who are using that as a check down, or how do you see that?
I think it's a couple things, to be honest with you. I think, starting last year, we tried to get the tight end a little bit more involved within the system, and we have plays that are specifically designed that they're the first progression read, which is something that, when we first came here may not have been the case. And so we've done a little bit with the system, and I credit the quarterbacks. They're taking what the defense is giving them. They're not keying in on just one particular guy. They're reading the defenses, they're seeing the matchups, they're seeing the one-on-one opportunities. And you know how it is when you play too high coverage, sometimes you're getting that tight end matched up on that Mike linebacker, and that's a win for us. When you're talking about a Josh Follow or a Tyler Petit or a Daniel Nordabebe, Eric Cromanuk, those are 6'5" plus bodies, 240, 250 pounds that, are very athletic and can get open. So credit to the quarterbacks. I think part system, part quarterback, making good decisions.
You mentioned Sid breaking tackles. That was something Ronald picked up on last year. Why does it take guys some time to figure out that part of the game?
Well, I think a lot of it comes with strength. Not a lot of times when you think about where we were with Rojo and Sid, we didn't get a chance to redshirt. They had to play early, and they get stronger and stronger. As there's a big difference between an 18-year-old and a 21, 22-year-old man. There's a huge difference, and you learn how to run. You run behind your pads. You get stronger in the weight room. You get more explosive. And credit Ivan Lewis and credit the running back coaches that have been here. I think they've done a good job developing our players, and that's why you see our guys go. I think of Buck Allen and Justin Davis and Ronald Jones, and Sed Ware will be the next one that'll be playing on Sunday. So you come here to get developed, and that's what those backs have done.
Let's do one more.
Do you have a timetable on Wole Betiku?
Say that one.
Do you have a timetable on Wole Betiku?
No, I think it's going to be longer than probably a couple of weeks. It's he went through 2 hip surgeries, and usually those are 6 months process at best. So I don't, I'm hoping that somewhere mid-season, he's feeling good, but we'll take it day to day. We went into that surgery for the long haul for him, did both hips, and when he feels comfortable with it, he'll be back. But I think it's the latter rather than earlier.
He be a redshirt candidate then?
He's not been redshirted yet, Joey. Yeah, so he would be one of those guys that could get 4 games late in the season, help us out, and still be redshirted. That would be a great goal, and the ultimate goal to have. But you know, two things like I always say is going to happen. One, the doctors are going to clear him, and two, the player's going to be comfortable enough to go out there. And until both those happen, then he won't see the field. All righty, guys. Thank you.